Hi friends, how are you? I hope you're all doing well. So for this summer, we're going to be focusing on the solar system. So I hope you all had a wonderful week off, but now we're going to start the solar system for science, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. The solar system really tends to be fun to learn about. It's very interesting. So we're going to talk about that. Today we're going to focus on the parts of our solar system, what makes up our solar system, and then we'll spend time learning about each part, each planet, in a little more detail. Okay, so let's get started just to give you an overview of what makes up our solar system. Okay, so our solar system. So basically the solar system is everything outside in space. Okay, so I know some of my friends love to learn about space, and I've talked about NASA and everything like that. So basically, we're going to be focusing on space and what we can find in our solar system. So I'm going to read a little bit before we move me over here. There we go. Before we get started, then we'll talk about the parts. So our solar system, the sun and all the objects that orbit around it make up our solar system. An orbit is the path an object takes as it revolves or moves around another object. So when we say that everything orbits around the sun, we're saying that here's the sun and everything in our solar system moves around it. It revolves around it or it moves around it. So when I say it orbits the sun, it goes around the sun. Okay? All of the planets in our solar system orbit the sun. So all of the planets, including ours, Earth, orbits the sun. Earth is a planet. In addition to Earth, there are 7 additional planets or large bodies of gas or rock in our solar system. So planets, we live on planet Earth. We're going to talk about that. We're going to focus on it. But basically, what is a planet? Well, a planet is just a large body of gas or rock out in space. And there used to be altogether 9 planets, but Pluto was too tiny, and recent years they considered it not to be a planet anymore. It became a dwarf planet. But we'll talk about that also later on in the summer. So right now we have 8 planets, and I'm gonna name each one for you. Many of the planets that orbit the sun have one or more moons that orbit the planet. So there's the planet, and here's the planet, right? And it goes around the sun, it orbits around the sun. Well, sometimes most of them planets have a moon that also orbits around the planet. So while this planet is going around the sun, there's a moon going around the planet. Now, some planets have more than one moon, and some don't have any. So we'll also take a look at that. Take a look into the sky tonight. Chances are you will see the moon. Earth only has one moon. Other planets may have many moons or no moon at all. All right, so tonight I want you to look outside and look at the moon. That's one moon. We only have one, so it's the same moon every night. In addition to the sun, the planets and all the moons, comets, and asteroids are also part of our solar system. So the parts of our solar system are the sun. This is the most important one because everything orbits around it. We have all the moons that go with the planets, all the planets, and then we have comets and asteroids, which we'll talk about that all together. So those are the things that make up our solar system. So let's learn about them a little more detail. So this is a planet, it's called Mercury. I want everyone to say Mercury. Good. It's the first planet closest to the sun. So if you have the sun, then you have Mercury. It's the first one. It's the closest one. Then we have Venus. Everybody say Venus. Good. This is the second closest planet to the sun. So it's Mercury, then Venus. Then we have Earth, where we live. Everybody say Earth. Good. Earth. This is the third closest planet to the sun. So we have Mercury, Venus, Earth. Then we have Mars. Everybody say Mars. Mars. So this is the fourth closest planet to the sun. So we did Mercury, we did our second one is Venus. Then we have our third one is Earth, and our fourth one is Mars. Our next planet is Jupiter. Everybody say Jupiter. This is our fifth closest planet to the sun. Then we have Saturn. Everybody say Saturn. This is our sixth closest to the sun. Then we have Uranus. This is our seventh closest planet to the sun. And last but not least, we have Neptune. Everybody say Neptune. This is our furthest planet from the sun, our eighth and final planet. Okay, so those are the planets that make up our solar system. We will learn about each one with more detail as the summer progresses. This is a saying to help you remember. My very excited mother just served us nachos. If you look, the M stands for Mercury, the first planet. V for very stands for Venus. E, excited, stands for Earth. M, mother, stands for Mars. J, just, stands for Jupiter. S, served, stands for Saturn. U, us, stands for Uranus. And N, nacho, stands for Neptune. Another part of our solar system is the asteroids. Asteroids are simply pieces of rock that, have fallen off years being in our solar system, but they also orbit the sun. And then we have comets also, which are balls of ice and dust, and they also orbit the sun. And we'll talk about asteroids and comets tomorrow. And then finally, the moons that we talked about briefly. Some planets have them, some planets only have one, like ours, Earth. Some planets have none at all. But we'll also talk about that when we talk about each planet later on in the summer. All right, friends, so basically our solar system is made up of a few parts. We have the sun, which is the most important one, which we'll talk about that later this week, because everything orbits around it. The sun is the main part, and everything else just goes around it. It orbits around it. Then we have our 8 planets. Earth is the one that we live on. We have our asteroids, our comets, and each planet may or may not have some moons. All right, so that's what makes up our solar system. The sun, asteroids and comets, planets, and moons. Pretty cool. All right, so have a great day, friends. Bye.